Stabilization Test. Woo! Bugs. Think of bug food. What a freaking nice day it is. Woo! Now, if you missed the last video, you may not know this, but I got a new form of transportation and it is boss. As much as I would like to stay and like stun on all my haters, we gotta get home because I need to pimp out my Sony Zv1. And now, if we're being real, the Sony Zv1 is already like an amazing camera. There was just one thing about it that kind of held it back. But Pimpin, that's about to change today. Now, it is safe to say that the Sony Zv1 is by far my favorite camera for vlogging. It is an absolute beast. It shoots 4K 30, the quality straight out of camera is top notch. The color science is boss. It's small, light, and like extremely easy to use. And even the audio quality is good. Boss. I mean, it truly is like a vlogging beast. But though, there's like two things that holding it back from being perfect. The first one being that it's simply too tight on the face. And again, amazing image quality, but yeah, this ain't hot. But not to worry about that because you could just pick up one of these Ulanzi wide angle lenses and Pimpin, you good to go. You are Gucci. So then what is the second major thing that holds it back from being perfect? Well, glad you asked. As of right now, this has been my go-to vlog setup. It is the Sony Zv1 with the wide angle lens and then an extendable selfie stick. Using it this way gives me that wide look that I really like while having the active stabilization on. But that's the problem. Stabilization. You have to be extremely careful when you're vlogging with the Sony Zv1 while walking. In my opinion, it's one of the biggest downfalls of the camera. And since I trust you guys because we on that Wi-Fi, y'all already know that I suffer from a couple of illnesses, one of them which is called buttery smooth ptosis. Real talk. Guys, I hate shaky footage. Like, vlogging with the Sony Zv1 has been great and all, but if I'm keeping it 100p, it hasn't been bringing the sauce. And y'all already know that's not how thugs get down. I gotta bring the sauce. Can't be rolling around my hood with shaky footage. Like, what do I look like? Again, if you rocked with me, you'll know that a lot of the times I've done my vlog before the Sony Zv1, I use the Sony A7sIII, and you already know I use a gimbal when I vlog. Yes, I do. I use the Zhiyun Crane M3. It is perfect for getting around with my Sony A7sIII, being out and about vlogging. But I think it's a bit much for the Sony Zv1 just because it is a bit on the heavy side. And your boy Sky Money likes a smaller footprint with the Sony Zv1. So it's about to go down. Sony Zv1 meet the Zhiyun Crane M2s. Zhiyun Crane M2s meet the Sony Zv1. That's right, Pimpin, I was able to get a hold of the Zhiyun Crane M2s. The big thing for me about the Crane M2s is the simple fact that it is a lot lighter than the Crane M3. I think that these two being paired together could be the best thing that happened since peanut butter and jet. Sky Money and YouTube. So now with the Crane M2s in hand, let's see if it can fix my biggest pet peeve, shaky footage, also known as buttery smooth ptosis. Real talk. Can it do it? Can it bring the sauce? All right, we are hopping right to it on the Sony Zv1 with the Zhiyun Crane M2s, and so far it's, yeah, like, look how stable the footage is. Pimpin', come on. And now I do need to point out the obvious though, and that is, where the sun go, Pimpin'? Like, when I went in it was sunny, but when I came out, it's like, And now, just in case I didn't mention this before, but this video is not sponsored by Zhiyun. They did send me the gimbal, but Pimpin', you already know how it is. Simpin' ain't pimpin'. Well, nobody tells Sky Money nothing. So you getting it for what it is. If it sucks, I'm gonna tell you it sucks. And for me to do that, I need to actually get out and like use the gimbal, put it to the Sky Money test. But yeah, Zhiyun is not telling me nothing. They're not telling me what to say. They just want my honest review, and that's what they get. And now for the most part, it actually looks solid. I did turn the stabilization off on the Sony Zv1, which gives me a more wider look, and the gimbal is holding up. It looks solid when I'm just out walking and vlogging. Like, it definitely looks Sky Money smooth. And then also the first thing I noticed when picking up the gimbal and putting it with the Sony Zv1 is how light the whole setup is. I almost feel like, now Pimpin, it's just me, but I almost feel like my little selfie stick with the tripod is a little bit heavier than this. Now, whoa. I could be totally wrong, but yeah, it does feel just like a little bit, like the whole setup feels a little bit lighter than my selfie stick setup. But yeah, this gimbal is like extremely light. Like, that's a huge plus for me. And now, why on earth is your boy Sky Money addicted? What is this disease that I have of gimbal smooth-tosis? Well, glad you asked, Pimpin, because it's definitely more of like something personal than like anything else. And the reason is simply, I want it to look like, when I make these videos, I want it to look like I'm not really holding the camera and it's like almost like a crew following me. And I just feel like when I watch certain videos and like YouTubers, sometimes it's a bit distracting to me, like when it's, especially when it's like extremely shaky, it distracts me from what's really going on. So yeah, I just like bringing the sauce. And so far, this is doing it for me. Just simple fact that it's extremely light and it's small does it. I mean, I would have used the Crane M3, but it's a bit heavy. But for the Sony A7S III, it's perfectly fine. It's a bit heavy for the Sony Zv1 to me. The weight to camera ratio is a bit off, is what I'm saying. Something else that I noticed that I love about the Crane M2s as well as the Crane M3 is how easy it is to balance the cameras that you put on it. Like, it is so simple. It is nowhere near as complicated as like my huge Weeble S gimbal. And then to top it all off, you do get a quick release. So you just unlock the lock and pull it off and boom, Pimpin', you Gucci. Another thing that Zhiyun added on the Crane M2s, which is actually surprising to me, is the little LED light on the side. Now, Pimpin, I really like the LED light on the side of the Crane M3 that I use for the Sony A7S III, and they included it with this gimbal. So not only have they made it a lot cheaper than the Crane M3, but you can still use the Sony A7S III with it. It's a struggle, as well as all the other stuff, but they also included the light on the side. Like, that is boss. And so now, who is this gimbal for? I'm gonna be real, if you own a Sony Zv1, this is probably the perfect gimbal for you for the simple fact that it's small and it's extremely light. If you own a Sony A7S III and you're looking for the same kind of setup, I kinda wouldn't recommend it. Even though it can take it, I wouldn't recommend it only because from what I tested, it is a struggle, okay? But I have seen people make it work on YouTube. Yeah, for me personally, I'm gonna stick with the Crane M3. If you vlog with your cell phone or action camera, this gimbal could be for you. I mean, it works amazing with compact cameras, cell phones, and action cameras. And if you're looking to cop any one of them, the links are down below. But yeah, I'm actually really shocked by it. I think the only thing I really want to test out is the stabilization test. Woo! Woo, how is that? How is that? Woo, man. That is boss, and I'm running fast too, because it's so light. And turn. I think the best vlogging camera just got perfect. Oh man, that was good. All right, what did you guys think about that? I think there's only one thing left to do, and that is to test out this LED light. I'm out of breath. Okay, we are on the Sony Zv1 and I've purposely come to an extremely dark street. Now, I usually do like night tests and things in the city center, but Pimpin, I was like, you know what? There's no point because I want to see if the light actually works. Now, the Sony Zv1 is actually really good in low light. Plus, I mean, it's boss. I think the autofocus is struggling, but it's keeping up though, it's keeping up. This is how it looks in pitch dark. But Pimpin, not to worry, because one of the things that I loved about the Crane M3 that the Crane M2s has is a light. And now it does look extremely bright, but I think it's just because it is extremely dark. And now, what I didn't realize with this gimbal is that it has 4 LED modes. Not 3, not 2, but 4. So yeah, how are we looking? This thing is on the lowest mode and it is extremely bright. Now again, this is me, no light, extreme dark, in the park, late. And then this is with the Crane M2s's LED on. Woo. And that's just mode 1. It's so bright. I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna be real, it helps, man. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. LEDs work great when it comes to action cameras. And these gimbals are amazing with action cameras as well. They definitely work really well and with smartphones. So that is a plus. Definitely I would prefer to use the LED on the Crane M2s over like using a cube light or like some kind of light that you stick on the side of a GoPro, the DJI Action 2. Like I've seen some of these setups are freaking ridiculous. Like who's gonna walk around with this big old light on the side of a small camera this big? Like, who's gonna do that? Oh snap. Waffle time. Dang, that sounds delicious. Oh snap. I might have to pull up in here.
This name you
all right, waffle time. Waffle time. Boss. Thank you. Like them comments up, let me know what you guys think. I got to go do what thugs do and eat my pistachio cookie. If you are ever in Harlem, go to Waffle Time. It's freaking delicious. So like, man, and the dude is so chill. So definitely highly recommend it. Like, go Pimpin. Go. Ask for this pistachio cookie and tell them your boy Sky Money sent you. Kind of like, it's like way out there sometimes. And yeah, this is mud. Bugs. Think a bug flew. Think the bug flew right in my. Wow!